Welcome to the Knicks New York Got Game live post-game for Game 4. Dexter Henry here with Bryan Fonseca, Candace Pedraza. After the Knicks, they have a fantastic win, 121-113 over the Boston Celtics. A game, not a game high, a team high, 39 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds for Jalen Brunson. Bridges, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals. That overcame Jason Tatum, who had a 42-piece in this one, but left with an injury that looks to possibly be an Achilles injury. We'll have more on that. But this is the Knicks win. I'm calling it their biggest win in 25 years. Biggest playoff win, I should say, in 25 years.
No, biggest win also. I mean, but by definition.
By definition, it would be because it happened in the playoffs. You're right about that. You know, when we look at this game, guys, and the Knicks are now, I can't believe I'm saying this. I didn't think I would say this. The Knicks are one win. You're laughing. One win away. One win away from the conference finals.
I was telling you all fourth quarter.
Yeah, we was like, yo, get out of here because you're trying to jinx us.
It's not even just one win away. They're going to the conference finals.
No.
I know you don't want to hear it, but they are.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. And a lot of people in the chat, Gaza Zone, we see you. We hear, fam. Do you guys believe yet? So, you know, Gaza Zone, who says he believed the whole time. He believes. But before we get to the belief and all that.
And a lot of people didn't. We talked to y'all all season long, and a lot of people did not.
Yeah. So those of you out here saying you believe, we don't believe you. You need more people. One win away from the conference finals. Candace, when you look at this win and what the Knicks were able to accomplish, how they were down 14 in the third, what does this win mean to you as a Knicks fan, you know, watching this, that you were very shaky at the start of this game?
Yeah, I was.
In your belief.
Yeah. Because this whole season, I have not seen this version of the Knicks play, like, ever. And that is why I hated the fact that, you know, not that they won, obviously, the first round, but I was just like, great. They just beat Detroit to now get swept, most likely by Boston, because I saw how they played against them in the regular season. So seeing kind of like what we all thought was going to be the team kind of end up actually coming together finally in the literal best time to come together is so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, like I do expect these Knicks starters, like most of them, to have 20 points or more in a postseason series, and that's exactly what we got. They were efficient. The offense they were moving the ball in this game. I didn't see any Brunson ISOs that pissed me off as they have been. Like it was wonderful. Like it was just, there was so much movement, there was so much flow. They seemed comfortable with one another. Like it just finally looked like, oh, you're right. Like this is what they wanted to create this offseason when they traded for Bridges and traded for Cat. So that's what made this win so big to me. Now they're up 3-1. It's extremely difficult to come back from 3-1, and it looks like they will not have Jason Tatum for the rest of this series. So this was huge. And even before the Tatum injury, I think that they were going to win this game. So 3-1 going to Boston. They play better on the road for some reason. So I feel pretty good.
Yeah, I think you got to feel pretty good. I think a good point that you mentioned there, Candace, the ball movement in this game, when you saw from the Knicks, particularly in the second half, 50 made field goals in this contest for the Knicks, 25 assists. So, you know, you like that number. When the Knicks have been, you know, around 30 assists this year, they've been really good at things like that. So you love seeing that number, you know, up there. I think there's a bunch of players we got to talk about and shout out on this. I mean, first of all, we got to start off with the captain. 39 points, 12 dimes, 5 boards. There's nothing this guy does that surprises me. And I feel almost in a way he still doesn't get the respect he deserves. Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know about Brunson. He's still too small. I'm going to say this. I think Brunson's one of the best small guards ever that's played this game. He's getting up there in that with the playoff moments that he's having where you're starting to look at him. He doesn't have the rings yet, so you can relax, folks. I'm not saying he's Curry or Isaiah Thomas, 2 smaller guards were there. But he's getting there as he's pushing the Knicks further. And if he gets this team to a finals, the way he leads in this moment are the reason I say that. It's not just like, oh, the clutch plays and the big shot against Detroit. This is the game. You need your star to step up. He stepped up. He did exactly what I thought. I talked about 8 to 10 points in the first quarter, set the tone. He did that. And then he does more. And in the fourth quarter, what do you have in the third quarter? 14? Oh, he had 18 points in the third quarter. Sorry. 18 points in the third quarter. I mean, what is there to say about Brunson? He's the leader of this team. He's one of the best players in the NBA, and he's proven it on the biggest stage time and time again.
And I think the most important thing is, like, it wasn't just him, because
good point.
This was the game we were sort of waiting for from them, because even in the games that they took in 1 and 2, it wasn't this. It was just like they had a really great fourth quarter. Boston had an awful fourth quarter. Those two things met, and they were able to take the game at the end. And they closed better than Boston did, despite Boston having a lead for basically the entire game leading up to that moment. This was like a progressively just 4 quarters. It was all competitive. The third quarter was big because that's where they took the lead, and they actually entered with a lead in the fourth quarter for the first time all series, which we have not seen. Yep. We talked about they have to get off to a good start. It started off very shaky. They had a great 4-minute stretch before the last 90 seconds of the first quarter, and then they were down like 12, 13 points heading into the second. And we were wondering, is that going to be something that comes back to haunt them? But then what happened in the fourth quarter is Mikal Bridges is in rhythm. He's starting to get all the mid-range looks that he wants. Jalen Brunson is as well. As you guys know, Karl-Anthony Towns made a shot. OG Anunoby had a nice drive. What's going on the Boston side? Tatum save us. Tatum save us. Like, that's all the offense was. He was looking for mismatches. He was holding the ball for 20 seconds. He would take a three. They would live or die with it. And they live and died with it. And then you look at Peyton Pritchard, he's not doing much, and Derek White's not doing much, and Porzingis is trying to get fouls, and it's not really working out. Their offense is completely out of rhythm. The Knicks, credit to their defense because they defended better in the second half, much better in the second half than they did in the first half. But the Knicks were generating all those looks, and that's why even when it was like a 3-point game with 5 or so minutes left, I'm like, the Knicks are going to win this game. Their offensive process is way better. They're hitting all these shots. Boston has no rhythm. And then Jason Tatum gets the injury, and that just seals it. Like, now you can allow yourself, if you've been doubting, now you can allow yourself to be like, hey, we might get a Knicks-Pacers conference finals, and then that also means, 1, we'll be doing a lot more of these shows, and 2, I can't even allow myself to think about like what that series is going to look like yet, because there's a lot to get into, but I just want to say that the Pacers are a lot better than people think, but I think the Knicks are better than people think too, and I think that's what this series proved among anything else.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think this has proven a lot. I think also in this game, I also got to give credit. We were cooking this guy in the first half, in Karl-Anthony Towns, who
he deserved it.
He deserved it. He was looking pretty terrible on defense. He's getting caught in these switches. He's not coming up enough, not putting pressure on the defenders. But Candace, what do you think about how he bounced back in the second half?
Oh, it was awesome. And I feel like a big part of it was that he stopped forcing shots. Like, he just kept trying to hunt fouls. He was getting into the paint. He was getting double teamed. And it's not like Cat is a bad passer. It's not like Mitch getting a double team in the post and he has nowhere to go and you're like, oh my God,
what is he going to do?
This is going to be a turnover. Like, you already know. With Cat, it's like, you're an amazing passer. You have to see something, or you kind of just, he gets that tunnel vision, I feel like, when he gets into that mode where he's like, I'm going to put this team on my back. And then when things don't go his way, he gets upset, he gets frustrated, he plays frustrated, and that translates to the defense. In the second half, because he was allowing the play to come to him, especially on the offensive side, I feel like that translated to the defense because he was a lot tighter on defense. Yeah, Tatum was still cooking him, but Tatum was cooking everybody. Like, he was just having one of those games. Like, he was ridiculous. He was lights out. Him and Brunson were having basically just blow for blow exchanges. But Cat was so much better on that end because he was just letting the game come to him. And so I feel like he just has to relax. I feel like he feels like he has something to prove every time he steps on the court. And I'm like, just, what kind of player you are. You know your role. There's no need to try to force like some legacy game in one
is
shot.
Your word of the day.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I feel like he tries to like win the whole game back on one shot, and like that's just not how they're gonna keep progressing in the postseason, playing him like that. So
yeah, the excitement is crazy among Knicks fans. We see you in the chat. I'm getting texts, people telling me Knicks to the chip.
I probably got some texts.
I'm just like, we got to relax here.
Do not overlook the Pacers, bro.
I also, let's not overlook Game 5, which we'll get into in a second. You still got to go to Boston and put the team away. You still have to do that. One other player I think that's worth highlighting here, OG Anunoby was solid. 2 other players, I should say. I'm going to talk about Wingstop. OG Anunoby, 8 of 14, 4 of 8 from downtown, 20 points. Also gave you 2 assists. And then Mikal Bridges, 23 points, 11 of 21 from the field, 44 minutes played. Wingstop delivered.
Absolutely.
No barbecue chicken. Wingstop delivered tonight. And I think when this was division, when those two guys can play the level of defense, which I thought has been good really throughout the series, I think those two guys have been really good defensively.
Yeah.
In what they've done with Tatum and Brown. I know Tatum went off tonight, but Brown, as Bryan has said all through the broadcast, did not have a game that felt impactful at all whatsoever. But Wingstop showed up, and this was the vision that I think Leon Rose and company saw. And Candace, there was another thing you brought up during the game that I think is good to talk about. We could talk about Wingstop and how good they were, but Tom Thibodeau has been, I think, unfairly criticized for not making adjustments during the playoffs. He made the adjustment with the switch everything defense, and then he had another big adjustment that you pointed out here down the stretch, was that he left Mitchell Robinson in for a stretch of 3 to 4 minutes. This was in midway through the fourth quarter, and allowed him to play and didn't go back to Cat for offense. I thought that was huge, man. That was huge.
That was huge because it forced Tatum to stop switching. You had OG on him for more of the possessions. That led to more stops. Led to the steal that, unfortunately, he got injured on, but it was to no fault of OG Anunoby's, obviously. It was just an awkward step. But that decision was so big, and also I think it spoke to the confidence that he had in Mikal Bridges to keep doing what he was doing on offense and just being able to replicate, I think, Cat's impact on offense. While he sat on the bench, and then you still had Mitch in for rebounding, second chance point opportunities, stuff like that. So that was huge. That was huge, and that was a lot of trust, I think, from Tibbs in the unit that he had out there, for sure.
Yeah, some people are going to be like, Tibbs has saved his job coaching the series. A lot of people said Tibbs was coaching for his job as we entered the series. I'm sure we'll get into that later, but we got to look ahead to Game 5 because now Game 5 comes on Wednesday night.
Only Game 5, Dex?
We have to look ahead to Game 5. It is the next game on the schedule. It is the next game on the schedule. That's all I'm looking ahead to. Game 5, next game on the schedule. I don't know what we're doing after that. Can't tell you anything about that. I'm just talking to you about the next game on the schedule.
We're making all these contingency plans for 6 and 7. Or 6, we're really just 6, not 7. And we're like, we'll see. Look, I'm not going to count out that Boston could win a Game 5 and force a Game 6. I'm not going to count.
Sure.
Like, they'll be at home. We don't expect Tatum. Like, we don't know what that injury is going to entail. I'm sure we'll get reporting soon because even when it's that serious, we still get like, the Celtics fear that it's this and what have you. Like
you'll probably, if it's torn Achilles, you'll know by tomorrow.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll know by game time.
Right.
I think regardless, you still have to close out this series if you're the Knicks.
Yep.
Because Boston is still a machine. They're losing the head of the snake, but they still have a lot of really good players you have to account for. I think the Knicks are going to finish this off. I'm not sure it'll be the 5th game. Who knows? But I do think they'll finish this off. And I think if you're the Knicks, obviously you would want to do it in the 5th game because it looks like Indiana might get that series done and over with soon. And even if they don't, it's like, you want that rest. Jalen Brunson, again, tweaked his ankle, it appeared. And they talked about how he didn't really get treatment at halftime. He just played through it. He put on the cape. He was fine. But if you want the rest for Jalen Brunson and other guys too, Karl Anthony Towns, we talked about his thumb and things of that nature, like just other ailments because everyone's banged up at this time of year. I'm sure Josh Hart has something because he's on the floor every damn game. So you just need to be prepared for that as well. Finish the series as soon as you can. I think if you're the Knicks, that's sort of the mentality that they have to have, and I'm sure that they will have that. But I don't think Boston is drawing dead in Game 5. I think for the series they are. I think it's pretty much over. If you don't have Tatum, I don't think they're winning 3 straight. So I think that the Knicks will be in the conference finals.
Okay.
And
this guy's trolling.
just calling it what it is.
Look, it's a game to play.
99.999% of people, it's probably a literal number, had Boston winning this series. And
except for Gaza Zone.
Right.
Except for Gaza Zone.
Games 1 and 2 really, not as much 1, because we've said Game 1 is it's Game 1. Game 2 is really where, as you put it, Dex, that's when, you could allow yourself to believe this is going to happen. The Game 3 sort of brings you back down because, that's kind of the reminder that Boston is really good and they could potentially do this again because they're great on the road. And then today it was dicey, basically the entire game. Boston led for a lot of it, but they fought back. And even before Tatum got hurt, again, a strong close in the fourth quarter. And that's going to be key because guess who else closes strong in the fourth quarter, which we may or may not talk about down the line. So I like the way that they're really playing offensively though, and defensively they've made some adjustments too. Like this is as good this is the best that they've played in the playoffs, I think so far. That game, that's the best that they've played.
Game they played.
Front to back. That's the best that they've played so far.
I agree. Because I think the fact they kept themselves within striking distance early on allowed them. Well, I kept saying, you can't let this get to 15. You can't let this get to 20.
They kept trading runs.
They kept trading runs, and it was like, I think the Celtics led by as much as 14. So it was close to 15.
Yeah.
But they didn't get to 15.
Yeah.
So it
didn't get to like 20, 25.
No.
There, it would have been like, ooh.
Yeah, but they kept it. They kept fighting, and they kept pushing back every time. And I think even in the first half, when they pushed back a lot of times, the Celtics would get it back up to 12, 13. They still kept fighting back and found a way to keep it in single digits before halftime. Oh, no, it was 11 at halftime. Sorry, it was 11 at halftime. Then they were able to chip away in the third quarter. Candace, are you confident this Knicks team can go and win and close this out in Game 5? Are you confident, especially if there's no Tatum?
Right.
Are you confident you can close this out in Game 5?
I say yes, only because if there's no Tatum, for obvious reasons, that makes life easier a bit on their defense. Specifically, though, it makes life easier for Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be put into action as much. He'll have more energy, I would imagine, to play defense elsewhere. He'll have more energy to be more of an impact on offense as well. And so with no Tatum, assuming, that's going to open things up for him as well. And I think that Mikal Bridges, this game might have unlocked that, not competitive fire in him, because obviously games 1 and 2, he was the hero.
Yeah.
But just from a scoring standpoint, he looked so comfortable out there, and it was the most comfortable that he's looked this entire series.
Against that team, too.
And exactly. And so I think that will be why I feel like they can close it out in Game 5, just because if Mikal is still playing in that way, and they don't have Tatum, and Cat is not as much of a target as he has been these last couple of games, I don't see why not. And they play better on the road.
Knicks are defeated on the road, 5-0 on the road.
That's crazy.
We're gonna look. Yeah, I know.
They're amazing on the road.
Trying to go to 6-0.
These are two of the
crazy.
best teams on the road.
Yeah.
Like again, like for I think that's not even just this year. I think that's a couple years now.
Yeah.
But I think Candace makes a great point about like just Karl being able to survive more on defense. If we're assuming without Tatum at this point, because I mean, if you saw that, you kind of have to. Also because and I don't mean to just pick on Jaylen Brown, but if Jaylen Brown's mismatch hunting Karl Anthony Towns, like it's just different. You know what I mean?
Yes.
His game's just clunkier. If Karl has one of those stupid fouls, Jaylen Brown's not the automatic free throw shooter like that Jason Tatum could be at times. Jaylen Brown's a career, like I think we checked, it was in the 70s. Like mid to low 70s, as a matter of fact, too, which is not even great for a shooting guard. So like losing that, it just means Boston is going to try to crank up the variance. Like Boston's going to try to shoot 63s again, and it's a matter of whether or not they can make them. Tatum is one of their better three-point shooters, but they have a lot of other good ones. So that's what the Knicks are going to have to look out for in this next game. It's just if you're a team that's shorthanded in today's NBA, you're often going to try to crank up that variance. This is how like teams just sort of get one over on other teams in series when they're inferior. Not to say that Boston is inferior without Tatum, but they probably are. And right now, like that's just what it is. So we'll see Pritchard shooting threes. We'll see Derek White get up a bunch of attempts. Jaylen Brown will shoot some, which might actually benefit the Knicks. Kristaps Porzingis, and whomever else. Sam Hauser's out. We don't know his status, but if he plays, he's going to be another guy that they throw in there to shoot a lot of threes. So that's probably what the Knicks are going to have to look out for.
You're going to have to look out for that. Should be a fun one, Game 5. Going to get some comments here in the chat. If you're watching with us, still rocking with us here for the post game, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to the New York Post Sports YouTube channel. Ryan Sampson says, get the women and children away from the corner of 33rd and 7th immediately. I would agree. Hide the women and kids. Gaza zone. Great win.
Honestly,
Let's go,
some
Knicks.
of you dudes shouldn't be there either.
Yeah, probably some of y'all shouldn't be there either. Nothing wrong with Tatum, he said. East Blue Drew says Brunson got pissed in the third and went off, made Jordan and Kobe proud. I would not disagree with that at all.
Probably got pissed off because he tweaked the ankle again.
One of the best comments of the night here, East Blue Drew again, in all caps. God bless Kylie Jenner.
Wasn't it Kendall? Did we get to the bottom of that?
I don't know. Was it Kylie or Kendall? What did you say? You said it was.
I think it was both of them.
Okay,
because
both.
if we're getting to...
I think I saw.
No, Juliana said it both were in the building.
Oh, there you go.
She did say both.
That makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I don't know the Jenners, man. I don't know the Kardashians like that except two. You know what I mean? Like,
Gaza Zone said, I said I didn't believe. Are you crazy, dude? I did believe with all my heart. Mitch made a difference, family. That was my secret weapon. Okay, he's believed with all his heart. Even in the Knicks win, the damn Celtics managed to get the national headlines and the attention. I do think there's something to that for Knicks fans that are going to be bothered by this. That the Knicks get this win, the biggest win in 25 years. Jason Tatum's the top 5 player. He tore his Achilles.
I get it. And honestly, if you're a Knicks fan who's mad about that, don't be, because it looks like you'll be playing for another at least week and change. and Boston won't be. So what? I'm just like, yo.
I just feel like
you'll be getting. Listen. You'll be getting national headlines if things continue to go the way that they have.
I also think fans care way too much about national headlines.
National media,
Like, you know what it is. You don't need the validation of, them talking about this on whatever debate shows or whatever tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you know we're proud of,
come to us.
If you're proud that this Knicks team won the game, be proud. You don't need validation. We're here telling you this is the best win in the 25 years. Like, Mike Bryan said it on the broadcast.
Are we not good enough? Are we not good enough for y'all?
Well, I don't give a damn if somebody thinks I'm good enough. I know I'm good enough, so I don't care about that. I'm just saying, you should know that this is a good win. You're a Knicks fan. You watch this team all year. This is a dope win.
Best win of the season.
You don't need any validation.
Best win of the season. Best win of the playoffs. Best win in 25 years. Best win for, obviously, this entire core nucleus front office that they've had together. This to date is their crowning achievement. Their crowning achievement will actually be if they finish off this series, and then it'll be all right, now we'll have conversations about them going forward.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
They might be playing in June. You know what I mean?
We'll talk about when we get there. I was even thinking about that. I haven't seen the Knicks play.
Oh no, the conference finals ends in June. It could be into mid-June. I don't know, but I'm just
the Knicks. When you said June, I thought that's what you meant.
It could be.
The Knicks are playing in mid-June.
These are the possibilities you have to entertain that I did not entertain much before the Celtics series, because if you saw what you saw leading up to it, how could you respectfully objectively? It's how could you get there?
No, I get that.
You had the diehardest of diehard Knicks fans being I don't know. So as somebody who's looking at this objectively, I'm kind of I don't know. But after game 2, I'm oh, this could happen. And now, you have
knocking on the door.
Yeah, the whole point of doing this is when presented with new information, you have to reassess how things are going. You evolve with new information. It's not you just stick to what you thought beforehand the entire time. And it's oh, I said Celtics in blank, so I'm still going to double down and triple down and quadruple down. It's no, we're presented with new information. The Knicks are playing better now. Jason Tatum is hurt. The Knicks took games 1 and 2. It is what it is. We are where we are.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that there. D's Vintage says, let's go. JK says, Jalen Brunson, Jordan. Gaza Zone said, Tatum could not help them today. Well, he had 42 points. So we don't want to hear it's because of Tatum. Tatum got tired, and nothing wrong with him. He just seen that he lost. He's acting. 100. I do not think Tatum.
I does not. No. If he was acting, that'd be a bad time. That'd be a bad time to act.
Yeah, why would
the game was still in reach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the game wasn't on TNT. Who loves the drama? But still, I don't think that's it. JHK says in any era, in clutch time, mid-range shots are the most important. The Knicks were killing in the mid-range.
Mikal Bridges
was cooking.
The important thing is just getting good looks from the mid-range, and that's the key. They weren't settling for bad mid-range shots or heavily contested ones. I'm sure there were a couple in there, but Mikal was, Candace, you mentioned this. Mikal was just flying off of some of these screens, or just flying to the ball with the ball in his hands, and just creating these open looks. Fading away, but not to the point where it's oh, what are you doing? He was actually under control, which wasn't the case early on in the game. And Jalen Brunson just being Jalen Brunson, you created all those open against a really good defense, against a defense that was 5th in the NBA this year. That I don't think was as good as last year, but still very, very good, great defense. They got all those shots.
They got all those shots. Guys, on talking to you, Bryan. Pacers is a great team. This season ain't over yet. We're not looking over nobody. I agree. One game at a time, guys.
Now you want to wait. After saying the Knicks would sweep
This
this
is
series,
true.
now you
My
want to
man
win.
was saying Knicks in
Come
4,
on.
and now he's
Come on, bro.
Now he's
Come on.
pushing.
You'll be in the conference finals. Don't worry about it. Pick the Knicks to beat the Pacers in 4. I know you want to.
He said the Knicks are going to win. The Knicks were going to sweep, and now he's preaching Pacers.
Now you want to.
We need another game like this from this Knicks team to finish off the Celtics and take the same energy to the Pacers. I don't disagree, Gaza. I don't disagree. Jean-Kevin Visconde, why did they not count Pritchard's rebound? Which rebound are you talking about, and how degenerate of a gambler are you?
What did you bet?
Worried about that now.
Talk to me. What did you bet? I want to know. I had Pritchard over 3s. He got that. So.
Well, he's mad that he didn't get a Pritchard rebound. Thanks, everybody in the chat. A lot of great comments. If you have any final questions, we will get to them. But this is a fantastic win for the Knickerbockers, 121-113 at Madison Square Garden. Candace, any final thoughts?
I have to go to Penn Station, and I'm scared. I'm petrified.
Oh, it's a zoo. Can you get
Yeah.
in? I didn't think about that.
I'll try my best.
You can't take something else
get in.
before that?
I'll figure something out. Yeah.
You know what you need to you need to say, I'm going to say this, stay on the blue lines and stay underground. You don't no need to come above ground. That's the way, that's how you do it.
That's a good point.
Get to the AC
Excellent
or E,
point.
stay underground, no need to go above ground.
I just put 2 and 2 together.
You just get it when you get to, some of those people do trickle down to the trains under there. I will say that.
I think they're outside, though, for the most part. It's a nice day out.
Everybody's outside.
Nice night.
It's a nice night outside. Everybody's outside.
It's going to rain the rest of the week. They're going to take advantage.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to take advantage. Shout out to the Knicks. It seems like they have a good atmosphere out there in the plaza as well. So, okay, you're going to get home with a smile on your face. Everybody's going to get home with a smile on the face. Knicks, big win. Any final thoughts, Bryan? Except for you saying that they're going to the conference finals.
I got to go home and, I got to finish watching Wolves-Warriors. I got to write some Action Network previews for tomorrow's games and get ready for a bunch of content that we got to do here that I got to do independently, obviously at Action as well. And I got to study some Knicks Pacers tape from the regular season because, it might be heading that way.
Knicks Pacers.
Hey, all I want to say, one more thing. If you watch wrestling, you saw Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson confront each other on SmackDown. Everything is wrestling. We're here, baby. We're almost here. In the conference finals,
if they bring
it's
up
going to
that
be part of the promo
They
package.
bring up that clip in the broadcast at any time.
It's going to happen. It has to happen.
Of the fake fight.
ESPN has a working relationship with the WWE.
They could cancel that relationship. We don't need it. I don't want to see it with the fake chair and all this fake fighting nonsense. You know what I want to watch? Real basketball, real sports. That's what we want to see. Knicks Pacers, not Brunson and Halliburton in a WWE nonsense or whatever. No, we're not here for basketball mania. We're for basketball playoffs.
Guess what? SummerSlam is at MetLife. So after the conference finals, Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton could actually continue this at SummerSlam.
No, they should not.
Triple H, I'm booking this for you, bro.
They should not.
Like, I'm here.
Please don't give them any
Paul
ideas.
Levesque, come on.
Please.
It's right there for Cardi B's hosting. Come on. No support.
No, you're not getting it here. You're not getting it here. You might have.
From you, I know I'm not.
You might have Nikolai.
Candace might.
Don't do it, Candace. There's no need to go to that side.
Did you see the confrontation I'm talking about with Halliburton?
And you wish you never saw it. That's how I felt after I saw it. I wish I never saw it.
I was
like, why, Jalen Brunson, why did you waste your time?
He's a wrestling fan, bro. Josh Hart,
maybe one day
and Tyrese.
WWE will invite me to do something like that. I'm going to tell them respectfully, no.
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat. You kidding me? What?
Of course you would.
What? Anybody, too. Anybody. Almost don't care. I'll take a bump. I will 1,000% take a bump. You kidding me?
They got to pay. You know what? I shouldn't say.
Yeah,
WWE, I won't say respectfully no. I'll respectfully no, but you're going to have to pay correct.
I'll take a bump.
Come correct.
I'll take off the top rope. Done. Hope Asher's not watching this now.
No. No. Maybe you think that make things cooler. I think it does not. Because it's fake.
Live action movie.
Oh, my God.
Back to movies.
Oh, my God. Oh, God. You know what it is? It is a live action movie with terrible acting. That's what it is.
They're better now than it was 5-10 years ago.
Is
tell you
it?
that.
Is it, though?
Yeah, they're on a good run.
Okay.
They're on a good run right now.
All right.
Nikolai, back me up in the production room.
Nikolai's been talking in my ear, backing me up, but it's backing you up, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't have to watch wrestling. You get to see Knicks Game 5 against the Celtics. If they win, they go to the conference finals where they can face the Pacers or the Cavs. Bryan already thinks he knows who they're facing. We will see. Candace, this was great. You were one of the few, not few, there's quite a few people who sat up here and have been 1-0.
1-0.
You did not start 0-1.
Oh, nice.
Sitting here for a watch party, you started off 1-0, and you got to see, you were the person that sat here for the best Knicks win in 25 years.
That's fantastic. I love
Nobody
that.
can take that away from you.
Nope.
You sat here and witnessed the best Knicks win in 25 years and got to hear this man say they're going to the conference finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to do it.
Good stuff.
There you go.
Follow Candace on Blue Sky. She's great.
Yeah, follow Candace on Blue Sky. Check out her work that she does with Fansided. Tremendous job there. Candace will be probably on with me a bunch on Got Game during the Liberty season, which starts on Saturday. That we're really excited for.
Yep.
So a lot of stuff coming about them there as well too. Be sure to stay tuned to the New York Post Sports YouTube channel for all the great stuff we have. You know our great shows. Hockey, we got Up in the Blue Seats. Basketball, we got New York Got Game. We got the Big Blue Rush for the Giants. And Gangs All Here for the Jets. Fantastic shows. Another new show coming soon that I'll be hosting. We'll have more on that later. So stay tuned for all of us. And in the live watch party here on Wednesday, Game 5. Myself and Bryan Fonseca will be here. Our guest from ESPN New York Radio, Tyreek Butler, will be here in the building with us. Ty coming to check it out with us. Another Syracuse person will be here in the building. I have things to talk to Ty about with that. And
That's
give
your
him a
rivalry.
hard time.
My school don't have an athletic department anymore.
Well, you know, it's funny. I had to talk to Kemba Walker on New York Got Game. Another episode you should check out. Just an interview with Kemba Walker.
Love Kemba
and I told
Walker.
Kemba Walker how the shot he hit over Garrick McGee caused me a lot of pain, and that was not good for me.
He laughed at you probably.
He did not. He empathized. He's a nice guy.
Assistant coach Kemba Walker. Nice of him to do that because assistant coaches in the NBA don't often do interviews.
No,
So,
but he did. He was
assistant
nice.
coach for the Charlotte Hornets who moved up in the lottery. So
He did. With
he'll be
fourth
coaching
pick.
a damn good prospect. Maybe VJ Edgecombe. Who knows?
We'll see.
All right.
All right. That does it for this. We are going to sign off for Bryan Fonseca and Candace Pedraza. I'm Dexter Henry. We will catch you Wednesday night, 7 o'clock p.m. tip. Myself, Bryan, and Ty Butler will be here for the next New York Got Game live Knicks watch party. Until next time, best Knicks win in 25 years, 3-1 series lead. Candace is going happy. Bryan's going happy. Well, maybe. I don't know. He's probably going to watch wrestling. I'm going to go home happy.
More basketball.
And there's more basketball.
Raw
not
is
wrestling.
tonight, but I'm
So
not.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's it. We're signing off. Until next time, people. Peace.
See you Wednesday.